Hey everyone, this is Borvak. Want to cover issue number one of whatever volume of Thor we're on now. I'm not sure anymore, but this is a bit of a thick book. It was cost me $6. Um, so we'll get into it, see what we think. I haven't really been following Thor a lot since I dropped the Jane Foss Thor book a while back after its first. Um, what's the word for it? After its first run, its first volume. Once it started getting into volume two, I kind of dropped it for various reasons I won't get into right now. Let's just jump into this book and see what we think about it. So, Thor is back, whose name is Thor. It's not his title. He's back. And he's got a bunch of hammers here. I didn't notice that when I first picked this up, but that's not just Mjolnir. That's a bunch of different hammers and spike balls and stuff. So it says God of Thunder Reborn. So we'll jump right in and see what we think. Jason Aaron and Christian Ward. And that must be... Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, Jason Aaron. Okay, so the first story is Jason Aaron and Mike Del Mundo as the artist. Colors Marco Delfonso. A totally different artist in the second story, but the art is all... So that tells you that the art was intended to be how it is. It's a very interesting art style, um, to put it one way. But Jason Aaron on both stories. Okay, we'll jump right in. We got Thor. He's breaking into some god's place and stealing a shattered stone eye. I don't really care. He's surrounded by these people, and then he is. Look at that! Like the sound effect is going over his eyes. That's kind of weird. But they have to fight the god's champion, who is apparently the Juggernaut. Dun dun dun. I wasn't expecting that. So Thor, he just punches Thor out immediately. Thor's falling, and apparently he can't fly because he doesn't have a hammer. Is that a thing? Thor needs a hammer to fly? Like it's like he needs Mjolnir, um, or something. But yeah, Juggernaut's getting cocky. Thor comes back up with his hammer. They're fighting some more. Juggernaut keeps beating him down, and so apparently Thor doesn't have Mjolnir. So he just has a dwarf making him a bunch of hammers, and so he calls his noble phantasm unlimited hammer works. Bam, 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 crack, 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 crack. They all fall down from the sky, and Thor. That's not really Fate Stay Night. That's a noble phantasm thing to do right there. Um, Thor chooses one of them. It's not Mjolnir, and he beats up Juggernaut there. It's kind of an interesting hit there. Very, very powerful hit, it looks like. Art style in this book is very, very interesting. I want to point that out to the beginning. Someone pointed out and did a video review, pointed out Thor's interesting nose. Yeah, the art is not like classic comic book art. It's very interesting, and the coloring makes it look even more. It might just largely be the coloring, but the coloring is very off colors, not primary colors. It's kind of weird. I don't know what they're bringing back Thor, who's a classic hero. I don't know why they're going with this off color palette. It seems like to me like they'd be trying to get a broader audience, not kind of make it niche. But it almost feels like they're trying to make it niche. Thor gets back. The dwarf is not happy about Thor breaking all the hammers, and Thor says, "Don't worry, I'll give you enough beer to drown a dragon." I like his response over here. He says, "You know, I don't want enough beer to drown a dragon. I just want enough to drunken a dwarf. That's all I want." That was a good one. So he goes up and he speaks to his dad, and then apparently all the refugees, I guess, from Asgard, because Asgard was destroyed, I guess, are now in the Bronx. That's interesting, I guess. So Thor goes down, and he meets Jane Foster, who's apparently still going through cancer treatment. She wants to touch his hammer, and he says no because apparently that makes her cancer worse. They have a little back and forth, And then Thor goes to talk to his mom, who's treating Volstagg, and he's eating a lot of. They have to put a whole bunch of give him a whole bunch of food via IV because he's getting his. Apparently, he was hurt pretty bad, but he's getting his appetite back, which is what he's known for. So that's good. Thor's mom is worried about Loki, and Thor's like, I think you think there's still good in him, but I don't. And if you really, it's interesting, he says, if you really care for your son, for Loki, your adopted son actually, then pray that I never find him, because Thor is not happy with Loki. Well, that's interesting. I see I didn't notice that. They gave him, yeah, he's got short hair in this, so I don't know if they're basing this off of the more recent Thor movie or something else, but I guess Jane Foster sends him to go fight the Submariner to get another thing in the ocean for Asgard. There's a funny thing, I guess that's a hellhound or something that used to belong to Loki, belongs to Thor now. Thor gets whatever he was wanting that came out of the shark from Submariner. Thor's apparently living on a houseboat, so he goes in and there's Loki waiting for him. I do like this. The hellhound is ate the whole entire shark, and I like that pose of the hellhound. That's what a happy dog with a full stomach looks like. At least a pug, happy pug. Thor's not happy to see Loki. Loki's like, hey, I'm here to help you. You can trust me because I have ulterior motives. I'm going to send you somewhere to get something, but I'm not going to tell you where it is. I think that's how it went. And Thor's like, yeah, well, if I'm going, then I am taking you with me. And Loki doesn't like that idea. So they end up taking the whole ship, and now they're stuck in the frozen tundra somewhere. And these guys are like, come with me if you want to live. I don't really know what's going on, but I guess it's a good start. Let's get to the backup story here. We'll go through that really quick. Yeah, okay. So Thor is now the king of Asgard, I guess, and he's fighting the last space shark, but his daughters, who we met before, are trying to save it. And no kidding, they feed it magical wheat gluten. Yeah, magical wheat gluten, which is a vegetarian protein made from wheat. I've tried to make it before. It didn't turn out. They're feeding that to the shark. But apparently the Earth is dying, reality is dying. And I was wondering before, like, whose daughters are these? They're Thor's daughters, but with whom? And we find out they are Jane Foster's daughters. So in the previous, well, I won't keep referring to previous videos. You might not have watched it. I'll probably leave a link to it. Previous issue, we met these girls, or I met these girls, and I didn't know who their mother is, but it is Jane Foster. But she's dying. Thor has extended her life, but she's now dying. He says he could prolong her life further, but she doesn't want. She says she's lived long enough. He says, well, reality is dying and there's no afterlife anymore. Does that change your mind? And she's like, yeah, not really. Just stay with me. Don't let me be alone while I'm dying. So his daughters want to know what's going on. They have suspicions about the end of the world, but he doesn't want to tell them, probably for their own sake. He apparently sent Mjolnir out into the cosmos, and it's talking to him, telling him what's going on. And he's got to go fly and take care of some business. Whatever's causing the universe to die has something to do with this last page. We've got Wolverine here, who is imbued with the Phoenix Force apparently, and he says probably maybe the best line in the book. Well, not the best line, but he says, hey bub, welcome to the end of time, hope you brought some beer. And that's, if it's the end of time, certainly, hopefully he has brought some pretty good beer. And it says to be continued in Thor number 5, and this is Thor number 1. So we're jumping forward pretty far here before we figure out what this is all about. So Thor's back, the real Thor. Interesting coloring choices and some art choices. I'm not sure what I think about it. I'll leave that up to you guys. It is interesting to see that Thor is married to Jane Foster in the future. And there's actually two sharks in the books. He kills a shark and then he saves a shark. So full circle, I guess. But we go back to when he's talking to Jane Foster here, and there's really no chemistry between them. In the future, apparently they're married and they have three daughters in space heaven in Asgard, but there's no chemistry. So I don't know if this is one of those Marvel things where they just don't know how to write uh, women having chemistry with men because that would be weird to them. Or if they just didn't have time to put that into the story. But there's no chemistry here. Yeah, I guess that's all I really gotta say. Thor's back. It's an issue. I don't really have much to say with it. I'm hoping they go with a more mainstream art style going forward. I'm sure the artist is good. Both of the artists and the colorist. I'm sure they're all good. Again, the colors in this were a direction because we're getting colors like this throughout instead of like primary colors, bright colors. We're getting these off color palette. Um, so no, not throwing shade on the artist, not throwing shade on the colorists. Uh, it's someone gave them this direction, and I'm not sure why. But I don't know. Well, let's see where this goes. I'm not giving this a recommend. I'm not giving it a not recommend. If you want to see Thor back, this book has some moments. It's good. It's $6 though. Hopefully, I'm sure the next issue will be a regularly sized issue, a little bit better priced. But yeah, I don't know. To be concluded, my review, my grade. I don't feel like I can actually give it a grade or a recommend or not recommend at this point. It is what it is. We'll see where it's going. So let me know what you guys think. Did you read this book? Even if you just watch the review, feel free. If you have any thoughts, if I got anything wrong, if you have any opinions on Thor, Jane Foster, any of that stuff, let me know. Leave it down in the comments section, and I will see you guys there. Don't forget to like the video, give the video a like if you liked the video, and check out some of my other videos if you want. And feel free to subscribe if you're interested in seeing my thoughts on other comics coming out. I'm still trying to catch up on my reviews, see if I can get there. Hopefully more quickly. I'm kind of behind, but I will see you guys. We'll catch up. We can do it together. I believe in us. We can do it. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys later. Bye.